What I wish I knew at 13 instead of 30. If I could go back in time and whisper a single truth to my younger self, it would be this. The choices you make, even the ones that seem small or insignificant, can echo through history in ways you can't possibly imagine. We often think of history as something distant, something that happens to other people in far-off lands or in dusty old books. But the truth is, history is shaped by ordinary people, people just like you and me, who are faced with moments of decision. Sometimes those moments come quietly, disguised as everyday opportunities. Other times they arrive with the weight of the world, demanding courage, vision, and faith. Sometimes the biggest moments in history are not the ones we see coming. They're not always marked by fanfare or grand announcements. Instead, they often slip by unnoticed, only to be recognized for their significance, years, decades, or even centuries later. The world as we know it has been shaped by countless such moments. Moments when someone said yes or no or simply hesitated. At the heart of it all, history often comes down to a single choice. One decision made in a moment can set off a chain reaction that changes everything. It's easy to underestimate the power of a single choice, but time and again, history reminds us that the future is built on the foundation of decisions made in the present. Let's look at one that could have changed everything. Imagine a world where a single invitation answered in time could have altered the course of nations, cultures, and faiths. This isn't just a story from the past. It's a lesson for all of us about the importance of seizing the moment. In 1271, two European traders, Niccolo and Matteo Polo, set out on a journey that would take them to the heart of the Mongol Empire. They found themselves standing before the mighty Kublai Khan, the most powerful ruler of his time. The world was vast and mysterious, and the East was a place of wonder, wealth, and wisdom. The Polos were not just travelers. They were messengers, carrying with them the hopes and dreams of a continent. At that time, Kublai Khan ruled over all of China, India, and vast stretches of the East. His empire was a tapestry of cultures, languages, and beliefs, stretching farther than any before it. The Mongol court was a place where ideas from every corner of the world converged, and Kublai Khan himself was a man of curiosity and vision. He was open to new ideas, eager to learn from the West, and fascinated by the stories of the Christian faith. He was fascinated by the Christian faith and made a stunning offer, one that could have changed the spiritual landscape of the world. He asked the Polos to return to Europe with a message. "Send me 100 wise Christians, men of learning and virtue, who can teach me and my people about your faith." "Send me 100 wise Christians," he said. "Imagine the possibilities." Kublai Khan was not just asking for teachers. He was offering an open door to the hearts and minds of millions. He promised that if these wise men came, he would be baptized. His nobles would follow, and soon his entire nation would embrace the Christian faith. It was an invitation unlike any other, a chance to shape the destiny of an empire. I will be baptized, and so will my nobles, and soon my entire nation. The ripple effect of such a decision is almost impossible to comprehend. Imagine the cultural, social, and spiritual transformation that could have swept across Asia. The world map, as we know it, might look entirely different today. But history is not just about grand offers, it's about what we do with them. The Polos returned to Europe with Kublai Khan's request, but the response was slow, hesitant, and ultimately inadequate. For 30 long years, nothing happened. The opportunity lingered, waiting for someone to seize it, but no one did. But nothing happened for 30 years. The world moved on, and the moment slipped away. The church, distracted by its own struggles and politics, failed to recognize the magnitude of the opportunity before it. When finally a handful of missionaries arrived, it was too late. The door that had once been wide open was now barely ajar. The Mongol Empire had changed, new influences had taken root, and the chance to shape history had vanished like mist in the morning sun. The moment had passed, and the opportunity vanished. The world continued on its path, but the echoes of that missed chance still linger. It's a sobering reminder that opportunities, no matter how grand, are not guaranteed to last forever. Can you imagine what the world would look like today if that invitation had been answered? If 100 wise Christians had journeyed east? If Kublai Khan and his court had embraced a new faith? If the spiritual and cultural tides of Asia had shifted in a single generation? The possibilities are endless, and the impact would have been felt for centuries. If all of China, India, and the East had embraced Christianity in the 13th century, the world's religions, cultures, and even its conflicts might have unfolded in entirely different ways. The bridges between East and West could have been built on understanding and shared faith, rather than suspicion and division. History could have taken a wildly different turn. The missed opportunity is not just a story of what might have been, it's a lesson about the power of timing, the importance of action, and the consequences of hesitation. This isn't the only time in history when a great privilege was squandered. Israel too once held a similar privilege, chosen to be a light to the nations, to show the world a better way. They were given a unique role, a calling to lead by example, to live with justice, mercy, and faithfulness. But they turned away and lost their place. Instead of embracing their calling, they allowed fear, pride, and complacency to take root. The result was a loss not just for themselves, but for the world that might have been transformed by their example. Ezekiel warns of the consequences for wasting such opportunities. He speaks of doors closing, of blessings lost, and of the pain that comes from looking back with regret. His words echo through the ages, reminding us that privilege is not a guarantee, it's a responsibility. Today, as Christians, we are that light. The torch has been passed to us, and the world is still full of open doors waiting for someone to step through. We are called to be different, to live with purpose, to seize the opportunities that come our way. We're called to shine, to share, to live differently. Our actions, our words, and our choices matter more than we realize. Every day, we are given chances to make a difference, to bring hope, to offer kindness, to stand for what is right. Let's not let history repeat itself. Let's learn from the missed opportunities of the past and resolve to act when the moment comes. The world is waiting for people who are willing to step up, to answer the call, to be the difference. Don't squander your privilege. Be the difference. Remember, the choices you make today could shape the world for generations to come. The privilege is yours. Don't let it slip away.